Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to a new series here on my channel all about layering. Now, in all honesty, this was not my idea. I received an amazing video recommendation a while ago. I will try to look for the comment and insert it somewhere over here. Basically, the person suggested me that I will start a layering series, and I will start with popular fragrances from certain brands, or like I will take one fragrance and I will give more layering suggestions. I thought that was brilliant. I wanted to start it even sooner in summer, but I realized summery fragrances are not really my kind of fragrances, and my expertise is not in that field, let's just say, but like autumn, winter, heavier fragrances, these are my kind of fragrances. These are the kind of fragrances that I love. These are the kind of fragrances that I love to layer. I love to come up with new combinations. I love to make them shine in different ways. So I was thinking to start, of course, with a fragrance that made the whole world go crazy, Khamrah by Lattafa. I have the fragrance right here, you guys. It's a fragrance that I love. It's a fragrance that I have used for a while. I can say that it's my most used fragrance, but it's a fragrance that I really enjoy in this scent family. And I decided to come up with, I think you will see in the title, I said something like 1 fragrance, 10 layering ideas. I have more than 10, but honestly it sounded better for the title to say 10. But I have much more than 10, I don't know, I think 14, something like this. So yes, let's just start, you guys. I have some layering ideas for the ladies, I have some layering ideas for the men. Basically, since I posted my review for Khamrah, I got a lot of feedback from women, from men, from all over the world, I feel like. And I have noticed that some women want to make it a bit more sweeter, some women enjoy the way it is, some men want to make it a bit more masculine leaning because they find it a bit too feminine for their taste, and some men just like enjoy it how it is. Maybe some people just want to explore with different layering options. So let's just start. Now, you guys, can you believe that I even have notes here? I think it's the first time I'm coming on the, while I'm filming a video, I'm having notes with me. The thing is, there are so many fragrances and I didn't want to forget one. And to make things a bit more simplistic, I decided to group them by scent families. Because I kept thinking, like, how should I group them? Because I don't want to just like randomly give you suggestions, I kind of want to go like in different scent families, so it's just overall easier for you and for me to organize. Now, before I start the video, let me tell you how Khamrah by Lattafa smells like to me. By the way, yes, now I'm twisting the bottle. By the way, oh my god, in that video I think I mentioned that it's very hard to pull the cap. Now honestly it's easier because I've used it for such a long time that it's easier to pull the cap, and so many people were like, twist the bottle, twist the bottle, twist the bottle, and some were like with like caps lock with like twist the bottle. I'm twisting the bottle now, you guys. I hope you're all happier now. So how this one smells like to me, this basically smells like you take a glass of warm apple juice from McDonald's. I love how it smells. Like I said, you take a glass of warm apple juice from McDonald's, you take a few cinnamon sticks, you put them in that glass, and you stir the glass very well. Maybe a pinch of something alcoholic, but very soft there in the background. I don't think the booziness of the fragrance is what you get first, at least not to me. Now, yes, this is beautiful, it's warm, it's cozy, it's gourmand leaning, it has some edible nuances, but it also has some deeper facets in a sense. You have here dates as well. I feel like as this one got to sit even more, the sweetness from the dates really shine. I feel like you have something like sticky sweet in the background even, but to me the main thing that I smell is the apple juice. To me it smells like a warm glass of apple juice from McDonald's. Honestly, I love how it smells, with the cinnamon of course, because it's also very spicy, very sweet, very warm, very dense, very cozy, it smells like a warm hug, it smells like a warm hug to me. It's, when you think of autumn winter fragrances, this is the kind of fragrance that I think of. So yeah, now the DNA, I feel like it's neither your typical light, breezy, bright fragrance, but it's neither your deep, heavy, woody kind of fragrance, So I feel like this leaves, and because it's quite neutral in the scent profile, I feel like this leaves a lot of room to play with in different layering combinations. And the first category that I wanted to start with is with cherries. I love the smell of cherry. I love the smell of bitter cherry. How would you say this in English? Like, I was growing up eating tons of cherry compote. Like, my aunts used to make cherry compote, bitter cherry compote, all types of compote, so I'm very familiar with the smell of cherries, and I love the smell of cherries, honestly. Now, I have here 4 recommendations from you. I will start with the one that I don't have the decant of because I dropped it and the bottle crashed and the fragrance leaked everywhere. And the first recommendation that I have is to layer Khamrah with Kaheela Lux from Paris Corner. Now, I have a video where I talk about Kaheela Lux. In that video, I say that basically this is Paris Corner's take on Invite Only Amber by Kayali, but to me, honestly, it's even better. I feel like they took the DNA, but if you haven't tried either one of the 2 fragrances, basically to my nose, Kaheela Lux smells like this is a really deep, woody, tobacco-y type of scent with bitter cherries and some like chocolatey facets in the background, but again like a deep dark chocolatey undertone with a touch of patchouli, with a little bit of vanilla, but you also have this cherry-like feel to it, and I think it smells beautiful. To me, it's a perfect unisex fragrance. I feel like both women and men can enjoy it. If anything, I feel it's a tad more, how to say, some women might find it a bit more masculine, but to me, because of the dark chocolate accord, because of the cherry there, to me it's a fragrance that I could easily wear without feeling like I'm wearing a man's fragrance, you know. So yes, the first recommendation is to layer these 2 fragrances if you have. Now, when it comes to layering, I have a lot of videos on my channel about, I mean, not a lot, I have like 2, I think. In my mind, I have a lot. When it comes to layering, my piece of advice would be you can layer fragrances, basically start with the heavier fragrance as a base and then with the lighter fragrance as a topper, because if you use the lighter fragrance as a base and the heavier one as a topper, your lighter fragrance might not even be noticed anymore, you know, because of the richness of and the heaviness of the other fragrance that you layer on top of it. Now, in some of these layering ideas, Khamrah will be a topper, in some will be a base. But I will mention this aspect when it's the case in every... What was I trying to say? I will let you know. I will let you know, don't worry. So in these first layering suggestions, I cannot speak, you guys, oh my god. So in this first layering suggestion, I would advise you to use Kaheela Lux as a base and to apply Khamrah as a topper, either in the same place. Let's just say you do 1 spray here of Kaheela Lux and you do 1 spray here on top of Khamrah, or you could just spray them in different parts of your body, or you could spray, let's just say, Kaheela Lux at your, like behind your ears, on your pulse point, and you could spray Khamrah like in your hair, on your clothes, something like this, you know. I feel like these, like the nitty-gritty aspects, I feel like it's up to you, you know, to do it as you wish, as you please, as you desire, you know. Now, yes, this was my first cherry recommendation. Now let's move on to the second cherry recommendation, and I want to start with a more simplistic, straightforward cherry fragrance. And this one, again, is from Paris Corner. Paris Corner has amazing fragrances if you're looking for something that's very affordable, usually an inspiration of something more popular. Look up fragrances from Paris Corner. They have beautiful inspirations. Now, this is Boozy Cherry. I have a decant of Boozy Cherry. Now, this one, again, I feel like in the same video I reviewed Kaheela Lux, I talked about this one. The only downside, I feel like, is not really the strongest fragrance, but it smells beautiful. This smells like, again, cherry compote with nutty almondy facets. It's quite full, it's quite round in a sense, but it's also, I feel like it's a more soft, muty type of fragrance, but in layering combinations, this one would work amazing because it's not too much, you know. I feel like this is the kind of fragrance that you could use as a base or as a topper, topper in so many of your layering combos. It would just add this beautiful cherry almondy feel. Now, this is an inspiration of Lost Cherry from Tom Ford. I know there are other, so you have here Boozy Cherry, you also have, yeah, I got questions about other inspirations of Lost Cherry or like dupes. I haven't tried those, so I cannot comment on them. But this one, in my opinion, if you keep in mind that it's on the lighter side in terms of performance, it's not a beast mode type of fragrance, it's not the most long-lasting fragrance. I would feel the need to reapply it after a few hours, but scent-wise, it's amazing, honestly. So yes, my second layering suggestion, these 2 together. In this combo, honestly, I feel like it depends what you want to shine. If you want the cherry to shine more, use this one as a topper. If you want more the apple vibe to shine more, use this one as a topper. I feel like in terms of weight, basically, or like density, I don't know exactly, they're both around the same, I feel like, but this one actually performs better. Okay, now let's move on to the third cherry layering suggestion. And this one, again, I have just a sample of, but this is on my wish list and I want to buy a full bottle of because I have fallen in love with this fragrance. This one is called Khaltat Night by Attar collection, and this slightly reminds me of my beloved Sajaya Gold that was unfortunately discontinued. This is basically, guys, you have a beautiful cinnamon feel here as well. In my mind, it's almost like you have cinnamon sticks again, because you do get the spiciness of the cinnamon, the sweetness of the cinnamon, but you also get the softest woody facet in the background. So you have these cinnamon sticks with a freshly cut perfect red apple, you know, perfect in color, perfect in terms of scent, you know, it smells beautiful. One of those like garden red apples, you know, that are very scented. So you have these two nuances that are the most prominent to my nose, especially in the opening, with a slight powdery musk, with a dash of patchouli, but again, just a little bit of patchouli that you will get it more in the dry down, just to add a bit of, not even depth, because it doesn't really add depth to my nose. It adds just a bit of complexity to the fragrance, you know. This fragrance, I feel like it's the brightest, breeziest, lightest in terms of weight, you know, from all the fragrances that I talked about so far. It's quite breezy, it's quite airy. So I feel like in this combo, I would actually use this one, Khaltat Night, as a topper, and I would use Khamrah as a base, because I would also like the cherry facet to shine. I feel like adding cherry, any type of cherry, cherry with tobacco, cherry with spices, cherry with apple, to the DNA of Khamrah would work amazing. And keep in mind, you guys, basically here you have, I know both have listed apple. To me, the apple in this one smells, like I told you, like a glass of warm apple juice from McDonald's, whereas the apple in this one smells like a freshly cut red apple. So it's much fresher, it's much brighter, it's much breezier as well. You also have this like sweet, sour crispness to it, you know. But it's so beautiful. Oh my God, so beautiful. I so want to add this fragrance to my collection. Yeah, this was the third cherry recommendation, and now the last one and the heaviest one is cherry with suede. And in case you have this fragrance in your collection, then definitely layer the two. I have here Mandorle from Sora Dora. Now you guys, I have a video where I talked about Sora Dora fragrances, and in that video I said that Mandorle, to me, back then I had a sample, but the brand was kind enough to also send me a bottle of this one. I cannot wait to wear it more. Oh my God, I cannot wait to wear it more. Basically, in that video, I said that Mandorle smells like a freshly opened jar of cherry compote. You know, you get like the first whiff when you open a jar of cherry compote, cherry with bitter cherry, something like this. Now, since then, I still feel like it has the same feeling, but to me now, as the temperatures have dropped a little bit, I also get more of the suede. Guys, this is so beautiful. Yeah, cherry and bitter cherry compote with a slight suede feel in the background. I love suede accordion fragrances. I feel like they add such a statement, edgy feel to the fragrance without being too challenging, you know. No leather. This doesn't have leather. Suede, I feel like it's much, how to say, it's more fuzzy in a sense, it's more drier. It doesn't smell like that new leather bag, leather shoes type of leather, you know. Now these two together, you guys, again, I don't think I would advise you to spray them together, like one on top of the other, or at least I wouldn't do that. I would spray them on different parts of my body, because I love the smell of this one, so I want to get it, like, you know, I want to be able to smell it on its own. And also this is quite complex. How to say, not complex, quite heavy, not complex, because it's not very complex. It's more of a simplistic take, but it's very beautiful. It's very warm as well. I feel like there you also have an amber accord that, to me, it just adds a slight warmth to the overall composition, you know. So it doesn't smell like a cold cherry compote with a cold suede accord. It smells like a freshly opened jar of warm cherry compote with a warm suede accord. And you have lots of warmth in this fragrance, you know. So I would use this one, let's just say, on my clothes, and I would use this one maybe in my hair or on my scarf, depending, you know, what's the occasion. But I don't think I would layer the two on top of each other. Even though I have tried to layer the two on top of each other, it doesn't smell bad, but to me, I would prefer to be able to smell them separately as well, you know. So yeah. So this was the first category. Oh, something I wanted to add as well, you guys. By the way, don't feel the need to if you don't have the exact same fragrances that I'm mentioning, it means that you cannot do these combos. No, please go look into your collection. Maybe you have a sample of something that's supposed to be similar to that one, you know. Maybe you have something that's a bit different here and there, but I feel like take the idea and then customize it to your own needs. You know, don't feel the need to just like go out and recklessly buy fragrances just to do some combos, you know, or like some layering ideas with Khamrah. Look into your collection. I'm almost 110% certain that you already have something with a similar feel that you could use to layer, okay? And in case you don't, sample first instead of blind buy. Of course, you do whatever you want with your money. I'm just giving you my 2 cents, okay? So let's move on to the second category. I have here 3 recommendations for you in the spicy category. Honestly, I could have included more as I'm a spice lover. I love spices in fragrances. I love warm spices. I love sweet spices. I love dessert-like spices. I love spices in fragrances. Spices with rose, spices with tobacco, spices with vanilla, spices with everything. But at the same time, I'm very particular to the types of spices I like. I don't like... I'm not gonna... Okay, you know what? Let me just like focus on the subject of today's video, which is layering. Not talking about different categories of spices in fragrances. Yeah, I have a video where I go in depth in case you are interested. Check out this video where I review fragrances from AMBERY WOODY. There I talk a lot more about different types of spices and what effect they give in fragrances. So yes, I look at 3 fragrances. I don't even know with which one to start. Yeah, I will start with the one that I have the combo on my hand right now actually, and this is more of an unexpected suggestion, but it works really beautifully. Now here I have 2 suggestions for you. If you have Instant Crush in your collection from Mancera, try to layer it with Khamrah by Lattafa. Do this combo, I'm telling you. Early autumn, autumn nights, even winter, it would smell amazing. Now, what I did, because this one is much heavier, I decided to apply this one as a base, and then I applied Khamrah on top of it. And what it added, first of all, you do this combo if you want to layer Khamrah with something that's like crazy projecting. Let's just say you want a beast mode fragrance, or you would like maybe to make this one project much further. Keep in mind you are changing the DNA of this fragrance, you know, so keep this aspect in mind, but it makes it go like everywhere, you know, so be mindful with the number of sprays. But basically what it adds to Instant Crush is this beautiful appley, powdery, cinnamony feel in a sense. More appley and powdery than cinnamony, but you also get the cinnamon. Now this one to me, in case you haven't tried it, this one to me smells like a gingerbread cookie house. I feel like I say this in all my videos, but this is legit how it smells like to me. It smells, yeah, like a gingerbread cookie house with that like ambery, translucency, Baccarat Rouge-esque type of vibe with something slightly vanillic, slightly powdery. You also have a saffron feel in the opening that's quite pronounced. Sometimes it can come off a little bit metallic, but it's beautiful. Gingerbread cookie house with all these other nuances, but it's a warm fragrance. I feel like this one on its own, it's an overall pretty warm fragrance, so it would layer amazing with another warm fragrance. Now, like I said, use Instant Crush, or if you don't have Instant Crush, or maybe you don't want to spend the money on it right now, maybe you want a more affordable option, my advice would be to buy a sample of Super Crush from Paris Corner. It's very similar to Instant Crush basically. Of course, like quality-wise or like strength-wise, it's not as strong, it's not as beast mode, you know, it doesn't pack the punch that Instant Crush packs, you know, but I feel like as an inspiration, it's extremely similar, just a tad bit more alcohol-y. So if you have Super Crush and you have Khamrah, layer the 2 together, use Super Crush as the base, Khamrah is a topper. If you want to apply them in the same place on your skin, feel free to apply them on different parts of your body, but I'm telling you, these 2 together, they smell amazing. Now this one to me, it's a going out combo. It's a going out somewhere with lots of air, you know, somewhere like in an open air type of space, nothing closed space, or if it's in closed spaces, be mindful of the number of sprays, because I'm telling you, this one is very strong, and if you layer it with Khamrah, first of all, you will smell amazing. Second of all, it's very strong, so keep this aspect in mind. Second recommendation that I have for you in the spicy category, again, I'm looking at 2 fragrances. Okay, I will go with the one that my heart chooses to talk about now. This is This is a gorgeous fragrance. I didn't have a lot of chances to wear it, but I cannot wait for the temperatures to drop even a bit more than that, and to pull it out and to wear it. Oh my god. This is called Gharam by Junaid Perfumes. You guys, this fragrance, oh my god. I mean, you know, I love Junaid Perfumes as a brand because I deeply resonate with the way they do their fragrances. Honestly, I don't know who does their fragrances, but I feel like I would get along so well with that person. Or if there are more people like the person who does their heavier fragrances, I feel like I would get along so well with that person, because that person just, I feel like me and him or she, we have very similar taste. Amazing fragrance. This is all about tobacco, but it is a gorgeous, intoxicating blend of tobacco with honey, with you know those like how are they called in English? Like orange covered chocolates, or like orange flavored dark chocolates. You have this exact feel in the opening, and with a deep, sticky, sweet, plummy feel. It's so beautiful. Now this one, even this one on its own, it's a very statement fragrance. It's a very like serious fragrance, but it with a sweet edge, but it's a powerful fragrance. This fragrance to me screams not necessarily an assertive vibe, because it's not like a deep, mysterious, serious fragrance, but it's, I don't know, it just smells intoxicating, honestly. If you find a decant of Gharam, please try it for yourself. I have a feeling you will love it. If you love fragrances like Red Tobacco, if you love Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford, if you love overall tobacco fragrances, but please keep in mind, this is a very heavy and decadent and rich tobacco fragrance, with a tobacco that smells dry, slightly sweet, but quite a powerful tobacco, you know, it's not just like a soft tobacco trace. So yes, all this to say, you guys, if you have these two in your collection, give them a go and layer them together. I think they would work amazing together. What it would add to Gharam, what this one would add, I feel like it would make it a bit more, how to say, like a bit more approachable, a bit more happy, a bit more playful, you know, because like I said, that one on its own is more of a statement, it's more of a bold, unapologetic type of fragrance, where this one is a bit more cozy, it's a bit more, you know, it smells like a warm hug in a sense. So I feel like it would just add a bit of playfulness and of warmth and of like this uplifting, happy feel to Gharam by Junaid Perfumes. Yeah, to the fragrance. So yes, you guys, and the last recommendation when it comes to spicy fragrances is with another spicy fragrance that I feel like I talked about it so much that I don't know, I hope you're not tired of hearing me mentioning it, but I genuinely love the fragrance. This is Amber Wood Tobacco Edition from Haramain. I have a backup bottle. I don't have a lot of it left, honestly. Again, I feel like once I start to wear it again, in few wearings, like, no, like realistically speaking, I think in like one wear or two wearings it will be used up completely. I have so many amazing, beautiful memories with this fragrance from last year. Yeah, when I smell this fragrance, so many memories just like come in my mind. It's almost like they're everywhere now. Like I have moments where I just go to my fragrance collection, I take like few random random, but not really random. I take those that are the closest to my heart, and I just stay there and I smell them. And the fragrances that are the closest to my heart usually are the fragrances that I resonate the most with them, and that I wear them the most, because I always create amazing memories with the fragrances that I love the most. And then every time I smell them, I'm just reminded of those beautiful moments with my dear people, you know, with the dear people in my life. So yeah, again, this one on its own, again, it's another tobacco based fragrance, you guys, but this is a very dry, sweet tobacco fragrance with honey, with the dried fruits, with spices. You have here a beautiful ginger feel and lots of other spices, and it smells sweet, it smells warm, it smells, again, it smells alluring, it smells a bit mysterious but bold at the same time. This is another fragrance that to me, this is a statement fragrance. This is a statement fragrance. I got such beautiful feedback on this fragrance. I feel like it's a very easy to enjoy DNA by people. Okay, so again, all this to say, if you have Khamrah and you have this one in your collection, layer them together. I'm telling you, they would work amazing together, and Khamrah would add to Amber Wood Tobacco this beautiful, warm, appley, cinnamony feel to an already warm, sweet, decadent, spicy tobacco fragrance. So yes, I would use the one from Haramain as a base, and I would use Khamrah as a topper because the one from Haramain is much heavier. Now let's move on to the next category, which is honey. I have here 2 layering suggestions with honey because yes, I think honey would work amazing with amber wood. My mind is still at that fragrance. With Khamrah by Lattafa. Okay, basically the first recommendation that I have is more of a heavier statement, bold type of combo. I have here Euphoria Amber Gold by Calvin Klein. I know this is a discontinued fragrance, you can still find it. Now, I feel like the majority of the feedback that I got on this fragrance is amazing, but keep in mind, I feel like if you're a fragrance lover, if you're not a fragrance lover, honestly, when I was wearing this fragrance, both my partner and my brother told me that I smell weird, so I don't know why. And it wasn't me, in case you're wondering, because my hygiene is on point all the time. But yeah, personally, I love this fragrance. I love how it smells. It's not, again, not one of my most used fragrances, but it's a fragrance that when I'm in a specific mood, I love it. And the honey here, it's ultra sweet. Basically, how this fragrance smells like. You have this very realistic smell of ultra sweet syrupy honey with a deep, plummy, sticky, fruity sweetness, with a slight, warm, dusty sandalwood that from time to time can come across as incensey. This is the fragrance. It's bold, it's out there, it definitely has more of an opulent feel to it. You know, it's not your typical designer-like fragrance, or it's not your typical like honey mixed with floral type of fragrance. But I feel like, again, in general, Khamrah layered with anything with honey would work amazing. So I have this recommendation in case you have both. Give this recommendation a go. I would spray them in different parts of my body, or if you want to spray them in the same place, use this one as a base and use Khamrah as a topper, because this one is very heavy. This one from Calvin Klein is very heavy. So I feel like if you were to use this one as a topper, you wouldn't be able to smell much from Khamrah. Now yes, you guys, second honey recommendation that I have is with honey Aoud from Montale. Now that one, I am currently testing it. I have a sample of it. I love how it smells, but from time to time I find it a bit sharp in a sense, you know. I feel like I would prefer it to be a bit warmer, a bit rounder around the edges, you know. Sometimes I feel like it's a bit rough around the edges, and I feel like what Khamrah would do to honey Aoud would add this beautiful warmth, this beautiful richness, this beautiful roundness. It would accentuate again the sweetness, but it would add also, or it would amplify also the cinnamon feel. It would add this like beautiful apple cider, not apple cider, like more like apple juice type of smell, you know. If you have these 2 fragrances in your collection, give them a go. Also, if you have any other honey fragrances, try to layer them with Khamrah. I'm telling you, for a night out, it will smell amazing. Okay, so this next category, I called it the ambery woody fragrances. Basically, if you have Khamrah in your collection and you feel like for your taste, I feel like this is more catered towards men, but also women who love opulent fragrances could easily wear this. Of course, there's construction noise going on. I just hope it doesn't pick up on camera, because if it does, then I would be so annoyed. Yeah. Okay, so maybe I will have to take some breaks if the noise gets too loud. Hopefully it doesn't. But I was saying that this category is for the men who find Khamrah too sweet for their taste and they would like some deeper ambery, or they would like to layer it with some fragrances to give it more of a powerful edge in a sense, not so cozy, you know, and playful. And also for women who love bold fragrances. If you're a woman and you love bold, unapologetic type of fragrances, then these combos are definitely for you as well. The first one, I think I have mentioned it in an older video when I talked about layering, but I have to mention it again because I got amazing feedback on it, is with Majd Sultan by Asdaaf. Now, if you have this fragrance in your collection, this is a deep, resinous, balsamic fragrance, slightly incensey with sweet myrrh, with some peppery nuances in the opening. It smells beautiful, beautiful, decadent, opulent. So yeah, if you would like to make Khamrah a bit more serious, a bit more bold, you know, less cozy, layer these 2 together. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. Use this one as a base, use the other one as a topper, and they would smell amazing together. So the next fragrance that I would recommend to layer with Khamrah by Lattafa, please, like, if you want a drinking game, count how many times I say Khamrah by Lattafa. I swear, I think it's like I'm on the 50th time. If you want another suggestion to layer with this beautiful fragrance from Lattafa that made the whole world go crazy, I would suggest you to layer it with Amber Grand from Paris Corner. That is their take on the DNA of Grand Soir from Maison Francis Kurkdjian. Basically, that is a very realistic, more like an old school amber accord, done very well with a little bit of sweetness, with lots of warmth, lots of fullness, with a slight aromatic lavender feel. But basically, again, that fragrance on its own, I feel like it's more of a simplistic fragrance in a sense. And you could layer that fragrance with lots of other fragrances to just like make it a bit more complex, you know, to like add different nuances. And again, I feel like if you have that fragrance in your collection, you could easily layer this one with Khamrah. They would smell amazing together. Again, you would just add a beautiful warm apple juice smell and a slight spicy sweet feel from the cinnamon to the one from Paris Corner. It would be a bit more complex, but they would pair very well because both are warm fragrances, both are warm, dense, rich fragrances, you know. And now I feel like to conclude this category, in case you're a man and in case you find this fragrance a bit too sweet for your taste, then I would recommend you to layer it with anything rich, deep and woody. Now the thing is, I feel like the woody, like imagine when I say rich, deep and woody, think the majority of the fragrances from the W series from Ajmal, you know, those kind of fragrances that are very bold, very rich, very deep, very woody. Some are a bit spicy as well. For instance, you have Amber Wood, it would work amazing with Khamrah. You have another one called Incense Wood, again, it would layer amazing with Khamrah. But any like rich woody scent, maybe with cardamom, perhaps with a few other facets there, but anything that's deep, rich and woody, I feel like what it would do, it would cut a bit from the sweetness, it would add a more, again, a more serious, a more bold feel to this fragrance that to me, it's like the epitome of a warm hug, you know, it's like warm, it's happy, it's joyful, you know, so it would make it a bit more serious overall. So yeah, also if you have any oud oils, I think they would layer amazing with this one. Give that a go if you would like to make it a bit more masculine. What I wouldn't recommend you to layer it is anything that's very like cold and deep and dewy, like a rose with geranium, patchouli and wood, you know. I feel like they would clash because warm fragrances go very well with drier fragrances, you know, because they complement very well. Or warm fragrances work very well with other warm fragrances that are sweet, dense, rich, you know, these types of fragrances. I feel like warm fragrances, when you layer them with something that's too citrusy, too refreshing, too cold, or too dewy, deep, earthy, I feel like that's when or where they could clash a little bit. But of course, layering is all about having fun, I feel like, you know. Take everything I say here with a grain of salt. Please experiment on your own and have fun. Fragrances shouldn't be so rigid, you know, like the world of fragrance shouldn't be so, oh, you have to do this and that. Who says that? You do whatever feels good to your heart, I feel like, and as long as it makes you happy, I feel like as long as it puts a smile on your face, then that's why you wear fragrance, you know. I don't believe in the fragrance police that has all these stupid rules. I feel like I believe that you should be able to do whatever you want with fragrances. I think that when it comes to art, there are no rules, of course, as long as you don't hurt other people, you know, but we're talking about fragrances now, you know. So yeah, those were the recommendations for the Amber Woody category. Now let's see what else do I have here. Okay, so I spoke about cherries, I spoke about spices. Okay guys, so we are approaching the last few categories. Now this one I had no idea how to call it, so I will just call it designers and other sweet fragrances. And let's start with a combo that I did in February this year. One of my close friends started acting classes and she had her first play at the theater. So of course me and like our circle, we went to support her, you know. It was cold outside, it was during the winter, so it was very cold. Sorry, but I have this piece of hair that's, oh, I even see it with the side of my eye. Hold on, because it's so annoying. Okay, so let's hope it's better now. It was very cold outside. This was like through winter, you know, there was like snow, I think, outside, if I remember correctly. So of course I wanted something that smelled warm, like uplifting type of fragrance, you know, a little bit cozy, but I also wanted to smell amazing. And I wanted something that smelled like me, but I didn't want something that would be like too challenging, because you know, like you're in a theater, like the seats are very close to one another, and even though we stood in like our side of the theater, but I didn't want to suffocate anyone with my fragrance, you know. So I layered, hold on, let me get it. I layered this fragrance from Jean Paul Gaultier. This is the La Belle Parfum fragrance. I love it. Again, this fragrance, I want to have it in my collection forever. I feel like this is the story with a lot of fragrances that I keep talking about again and again. So I layered this one. I layered it with an oil that I love. I layered it with Aoud Attar from Ep.1 Woody. You know what, you guys, I'm sorry, but okay. So I had to do something with my layers here in the front because they were driving me crazy. Yeah. So I layered it with Aoud Attar from Ep.1 Woody, but I also felt the need to add something, I don't know, to add a few extra sprays of something. I added Khamrah on my scarf. I cannot tell you the amount of people that complimented my fragrance and the amount of people that asked me what I was wearing, you know. And there was I with like 3 fragrances layered, you know. It smelled so beautiful together, you guys. If you have La Belle Parfum and if you have Aoud Attar in your collection, because I know some of you got it, first of all, please layer them together, and second, please add Khamrah in the mix, or just layer Khamrah with Aoud. Basically, if you haven't tried Aoud Attar from Ep.1 Woody, that one smells like a more sweeter, ambery, warmer, denser version of Shaga Food from Swiss Arabian. The praline is more amplified, it's sweeter, it's denser, the rose is there. It's very similar to Shaga Food, but basically it's much richer and much sweeter, I feel like. Whereas Shaga Food also had a slightly dry, woody feel, you know. Yeah, beautiful, such a beautiful oil to have in your collection. It's so versatile. Again, I was smelling it for today's video again. You guys, when I smelled that oil, just like it happened when I smelled amber wood tobacco, it brought back so many beautiful memories from winter. You guys, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, from the last winter basically. Yeah, I used to apply it in my hair, on my skin, on my clothes, everywhere, but I used to wear it so much. So yes, all this to say, you guys, if you have Shaga Food in your collection, or if you have La Belle Parfum, or if you have Aoud Attar, try to give that layering combo a go with Khamrah. I genuinely think they would smell amazing together, like amazing. Again, I feel like this combo is more for going out for colder months. I feel like if you layer all 3 together during really high heat, they will be suffocating. In all honesty, they will be suffocating because this is a very heavy fragrance on its own. Again, this is, I don't want to say it's very heavy because I don't find it very heavy, but again, it's a heavier fragrance. And Aoud Attar, again, it's a heavier oil. But for the autumn season, for autumn, winter, colder months, they smell amazing, like amazing, amazing, amazing. And I cannot wait to put the oil in my hair again and to start to wear it. Yeah. Okay, so these were pretty much my layering ideas so far. Now, of course, you could layer it with a lot of other fragrances. Basically, if you take the DNA of Khamrah and you deconstruct it, you have the apple feel, you have the spices, and then you have the sweetness with a slight ambery feel in the background. But to me, the ambery there, it works more like, it just adds warmth, you know, it's not like a true ambery balsamic fragrance. But if you deconstruct that fragrance, you could layer it with other spicy fragrances, any spices, but more like warm, sweet spices. I feel like they would work amazing. You could layer with any caramel, vanillic forward fragrance. It would layer very well, of course, to amplify the sweetness, to give it a bit of, like, how to say, like more playful, feminine, flirty feel to the scent, you know. Now, speaking of caramelly, vanilla scent, in no particular order, but like if you have Golden Sand by Al Rihab, if you have Mu'attar Dahab for Women by Junaid Perfumes, or if you have Mu'attar Dahab for Men from Junaid Perfumes, or if you have Vanilla 28 from Kaheela, or if you have any vanilla forward fragrance, layer it with Khamrah, they would work amazing, amazing together, because again, you would just add a warm, sweet vanillic feel to the overall warm, sweet fragrance, you know. It would make it, I feel like, more, even more feminine, more playful, more, yeah, everything that we like in a fragrance, you know. So yeah, I feel like this is pretty much everything I wanted to say for today's video. I hope you enjoyed my layering combos. Again, if you have any layering ideas with Khamrah, put them down below and let's all share our best layering combos, and let's just all smell amazing together, you know. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I'm sorry if I had to keep cutting bits and pieces from the video, but I had to stop at a certain point, like whatever. So yeah, what else do I want to add? Take these ones as a guideline, you know, take everything I say with a grain of salt, do your own research, try your own layering combos, you know, come up. Basically, I feel like fragrance is supposed to have fun. Like when you feel you are in a very creative mood, just like turn off your mind, you know, that like critical, analytical part of your brain, go to your fragrance collection and let your more passionate, creative part flow, you know, and I'm sure you will come up with amazing layering combos. So yes, thank you so much for watching, you guys. I will see you in my next video. If you want to tell me anything, as always, please put it down in the comment section, and I promise that I will get back to you. If you liked the video, if you enjoyed it, please leave me a comment, leave me a like. This would help me a lot, and it would encourage me to make more videos here on YouTube and to dedicate even more time to my YouTube channel. Again, any video ideas, any fragrance review requests, put all of them down below. Follow me on Instagram if you want, but thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video, but until then, thank you so much for watching, and I want to wish you an amazing day wherever you are. Bye guys.